Balochistan, the largest province of Pakistan in terms of land and area. Largely underdeveloped, Balochistan's economy is dominated by natural resources, especially its natural gas fields and minerals. Balochistan is famous for its unique culture and extremely dry desert climate. The economy of Balochistan is largely based upon the production of natural gas, coal, and other minerals. As its distinctive beauty, Balochistan is also richly blessed with the mineral resources such as deposits of gold, silver, copper, iron, coal, gas, petroleum, and other valuable minerals, making it unique amongst the world. The natural resources of Balochistan bears out 90% of mineral requirements of Pakistan, and the extracted minerals from Balochistan are considered to be the most significant minerals numbered amongst the world. At west, where Pakistan shares borders with Iran and Afghanistan, lies a small berg known as Saindak. In the native Balochi language, the meaning of Saindak is known as Siadik, meaning a black mound. Surrounded by these black mounds, beneath lies the reserves of gold, silver, and copper. It is the first ever metal mining project of its kind in this part of the world. Saindak Copper Gold Project consists of 3 ore bodies: South, North, and East ore body. Saindak Metals Limited is owned by the Government of Pakistan under the administrative control of the Ministry of Energy. In the year 1995, Saindak Metals Limited under the Companies Act 1984 was considered as a public company. From mining to the final product, the ore and waste rock usually come in medium to hard categories, so they need to be drilled and blasted. YZ35 type electric rotary drills are selected for the drilling due to the comparatively hard ore and waste from the pit. Blasted ore and rock are then loaded by electric shovel, which shifts the ore from mine to the crusher. 2 cone crushers are installed with 355 tons per hour feed rate, and maximum discharge size is 17 mm. After crushing and screening, the final ore discharge size is 9 to 11 mm and stored in a fine ore bin. The crushed ore is then fed to 3 ball mills through conveyor belts. In the grinding process, the ore needs to be further grinded from 9 mm to -200 mesh in 3 revolving ball mills. In flotation machines, the desired mineral is rendered hydrophobic by the addition of a surfactant or collector chemicals. This slurry of hydrophobic mineral bearing ore and hydrophilic gangue is then given a water bath, which is aerated, creating bubbles. The hydrophobic grains of mineral bearing ore escapes the water by attaching to the air bubbles, which rise to the surface, forming foam. The froth is then delivered by sand pumps. The tailings from bulk roughing, bulk cleaning, scavenging, and pyrite roughing are pumped by sand pumps to a distributor, then to the drum magnetic separator for magnetite separation. The final copper and pyrite concentrate flow by gravity to the thickener. The press filter is used for dewatering of copper concentrate. The cake after dewatering is sent by belt conveyors and unloaded into the copper concentrate bin. The tailings from concentrator after thickening in plant area is delivered to the lower reaches of West Valley tailings pond through the pipelines. Water reclamation from tailing pond. The water that reaches the tailing pond is the water carried by tailings and rainfall runoff water. The water carried by tailings, with the exception of loss, is reclaiming for concentrated production. The water reclamation facilities are designed to be set up in the lower reaches outside the start dam, which include a collecting sump 50 cubic meter in volume. With such facilities, the water permeated out can be delivered back to the tailing pond. The mixed charge, copper concentrate, limestone, quartz, reverts, and humidized dust, according to weight ratio, is fed to 2 surge bins at the top of the reverberatory furnace through conveyor belt. The mixed charge is fed into the furnace in batches. Then a charge slope is formed at 2 sides of this furnace. The reverberatory furnace is heated by burning heavy oil. The solid charge in the furnace is heated, dissociated, oxidized, and melted under the action of high temperature gas, and then the matte and slag are formed. The matte is tapped intermittently by way of siphon, then flows to matte ladle via launder. The matte ladle is transferred to the conveyor for blowing by a hook overhead crane. The slag is tapped from the furnace via the slag tap and water cooling launder, then flows directly to the slag pond of granulation. The granulated slag is transferred to slag storage bin from the slag pond via a grab overhead crane, and the granulated slag is transported by trucks to the slag dump. The flue gas from the reverberatory furnace flows into the waste heat boiler via the uptake for recovering the waste heat, then to the electrostatic precipitator for cleaning, and finally discharged to the atmosphere via 120 meter high stack. Saindak Metals Limited, being the first mining industry in Pakistan, its top priority has always been to largely emphasize the penurious promise of Balochistan and its unhated natives. As a government company owned by the government of Pakistan, Saindak Metals Limited is covering a wide variety of services for the natives of Balochistan. Saindak Metals Limited together is a corporate other than a resource leader in its community. Balochistan is naturally blessed with varieties of minerals. Anything that lacks would be the proper exploitation of the resources. The high-ups of the government must take effective measures related to mineral resources around Balochistan, in establishing industrial units related to mineral development. The fate of Balochistan will eventually raise the spirits of hundreds and thousands of jobless people, allowing them to be associated with those industries, and Balochistan would ultimately be on the right path to success.